Chris, you promise.
I didn't last night. I was just thinking about the movie I just saw, because we only finished 2.5 weeks ago, and that was the best sound I've heard, and I was delighted by the screening, and of course by the response of people. So I did, but I often think about while I'm making the films, I keep thinking about what happened on previous ones and what I learned.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is my first time to the festival, and to be here with George and this cast and production. The Mad Max franchise and world holds a very special place in my heart, being Australian. So it was vivid and had a wonderful sort of nostalgia about my childhood, and the response at the end, it rang the bell of gratitude in my heart for the opportunity, and you know, thanks to George for bringing me to the space, and also to the audience who have such a passion for these films and have kept them alive for so many years. So it was a real honour.
The one thing you can say about cinema is that it's always evolving and changing, and particularly with technology. I mean, I started making films in the analog era with celluloid, where it was quite different.
I like that description. I'm a big believer in the playfulness of work, and the two not having to be separate entities. No matter what the subject matter, I think it should be joyful. And the interesting thing about this character initially that struck me was there was this villainous persona. But it was very important for George and I, we discussed it at length, to find the humanity in the character, and to sprinkle in moments of vulnerability, and understand that he too was a product of the wasteland. He too had suffered tremendously and had a traumatic past. Not to excuse his horrific actions, but to understand that he was responding and trying to survive in a very brutal space. There was a vibrance and a bombastic sort of nature on the page. I felt that this script was very different to the other Mad Max films. We discussed this as well at length, and wanted to lean into the absurdity of the character, wanted to lean into the polarity of him, and have him be contradictory and hopefully surprising. I like the way that humour can lull you into a false sense of comfort, so that when you do something that is violent, violent, it's unexpected, as opposed to kind of hinting at it or setting it up in a sort of more obvious way. But to have the freedom to to be inconsistent, as we as humans are, I found creatively very satisfying, and I love every second of the experience, and I really thanks George so much for that.
Thank you.